Is it recording? Hi, I'm James Worthington, director, writer, editor, and producer of The Vampyress. Here's my director's commentary. I'm going to try to go through as many behind the scenes techniques and fun facts as I can in the 11 minutes that it takes to watch it. So let's get into it. Now, if you look closely in the window and in mirrors later on, Willow's reflection is always edited out. Now, all of those bassy sound effects are actually a result of me putting a pane of glass back in my screen door that we used to shield the camera later for the plate smash. And as I was putting it back in, it made that weird sound, and I was like, oh, I have to record this.
Has she called you at all?
Now, even when I was writing it, I knew I wanted this shot to be static, locked off, with a lot of space between the characters to visually show that they're not on the same page. There is literal and qualitative space there in their relationship. And for a shot like that to work, it's all about the acting, and Carl and Emily absolutely nailed it. Carl reaches for the cell phone, that breaks Willow's trust, and boom, they're in separate shots now. The sink that kind of represents Willow getting kind of washed over in this vampire world as she transitions is looming behind the father, and also the spider webs behind Willow, like as they drape down, kind of look like vampire fangs. That's just a little in joke for me. We did make breakaway plates from plaster of Paris. We made a little pad for Carl, so when that happens, it's not hitting directly on his head. Unfortunately, I think we did one take before there was a pad, and it's just attached with dental floss. It was put around his head but under his hair, so you can't see it. That's actually a digital tilt to keep him out of the frame until it would be better for the story to see him. And actually, that initial moment actually saw him fall to the ground and pass out in real time, and it just ended up being, oh, my light just died. You know what? I'm not gonna. I don't have the charging cable for that, so we're just gonna go without that light. Here we go. What was I saying? There was actually a shot of him falling down, and it just for pacing purposes, it was better to cut that out. And the cut to black and then revealing him at the bottom of the frame ends up implying so much more than just one plate hit. And now that we're at the door, as soon as she opens it and we see Jenny for the first time, this is day 2 of filming. That was actually 9 months after the first day, because of scheduling conflicts. The initial actor for Jenny unfortunately had to drop out for work conflicts. But I knew Allie from college, and again, just perfect, completely gelled with Emily on set and on screen, and the chemistry of the three of them could not be better. And now that doorway also has a screen door that we had to prop open and keep out of the frame and almost unhinge, basically. Because that would be awkward to have that conversation through a screen door. And then it wouldn't be as easy for her to actually get in. Those boots that Allie is wearing were donated by my cousin. There's never any light reflecting in Jenny's pupils because she's already fully transitioned and fully dead, if you will, or undead. But there is light reflected in Willow's pupils because she's not fully transitioned yet. And throughout this transition scene, this 30 seconds, that was the only section that I really didn't have a clear idea of what I wanted on screen from the scripting stage or the storyboarding phase of it. So all of the motions with Emily were improv'd. A lot of the laughing is just the actors like backstage if we happen to still be recording, and repurposing that as maniacal laughter, including the shot of Jenny actually laughing on screen. That was just Allie laughing at my sister who did the makeup, because they're like best friends. And also shout out to my sister for the great bite mark. It really looks like a genuine like healed and scarred puncture. Both of these bite motions are actually speed ramped. So using like once they move out of frame, you can use that like plate in the background of them not being there, and then mask them out and their motion, add a little blur so that it looks like it's still captured by the camera. It's not perfect, but you know, it's there was an attempt. And of course the shot here and the shot of them biting Carl are meant to mimic the dinner table scene from the beginning, because he is now the dinner, and Jenny is essentially replacing him as her authority figure. Getting to work with Stephen Murphy from Modern Ties on the music was incredibly rewarding. I never worked on any sort of like music critique before this. I'm a huge fan of music, but I never like worked with someone to actually create a piece before. And he's a musical genius. And yeah, I'm extremely happy with the final product. I've been wanting to make something about vampires for years, with kind of like hidden storytelling and everything, where like the exposition and the explanation is more implied and in the background. So I figured like getting into more professional filmmaking, make that the first project, and then move forward into other things. Yeah, so that is the Vampyress. I tried to get as many like fun facts in there as possible, but honestly I could talk about it all day. So yeah, thank you so much.